Assalamu alaikum students, and a very good morning to all of you. Today is 10th April 2026 and the day is Friday. As you people can see on the top left corner on the board, the date and day is mentioned. It's your first English lesson on online class, and I hope that you all are doing good and all are safe and sound at your homes and enjoying your holiday. But beside enjoying it, you all should study, because you people would be having an online class every Friday until the new notice of the government. So I request you all and I urge you all to complete your task on time and watch the videos on time, so that your working day won't be missed. So before wasting any other time, and we now move on towards our task of the today. As you people can see, it's written clearly on the board. That's unit number 1, Rushing River, and it's on page number 9 of your textbook. So I request you all to open page number 9 of your textbook, Language Tree 4. Page number 9. Have you all opened it? Okay. Now moving on towards the main task or main content of today's video lesson, that is the introduction of the lesson, and we also will be doing the reading of this lesson in this video lesson too. So moving on towards the introduction of this lesson, I will tell you first what's actually in this lesson, so that you people can have an idea that what the story of the Rushing River about and what this lesson or this unit says. Okay, you all will be having an introduction first. I will narrate a story in front of all of you, so that you people can understand what's happening in the story, and then we will move on towards the reading of the unit, and simultaneously we'll also underline or highlight the difficult words that I feel are difficult for you, and I ask you all to underline or highlight the difficult words for you in your notebooks too, in your books too, and find out the meanings of these words from the dictionary. Or otherwise, if you find any difficulty in finding out the meaning of these words, we can also find out them in the physical classes on Monday too. But before that, your task is to find out those difficult words that are to be underlined in this video lessons from your dictionaries, and they should be underlined in your books properly. So open your books, page number 9, unit number 1, Rushing River. So students, as you know that the unit Rushing River is about the story of a boy and the story of the river. That both of the stories are correlated with each other. Correlate means that both of these stories are simultaneously working with each other. In the story, we will learn about a river who is rushing very fast and is a very raging condition, and also a boy. So we will discuss how the boy is involved in the story. But before that, we will get to know what basically the meaning of rushing is. You all know the meaning of river. River के बारे में सबको पता होगा what river actually is. So river is basically you know the meaning of the river, that is we call darya. River in Urdu is called as darya. But what do we call rushing? Who will tell me the meaning of rushing? Yes, anyone else out there from all of you? What's the meaning of rushing? Quickly, you all have 5 seconds to think of it. And if you don't know, kindly open up your dictionaries quickly and find out the meaning of rushing. So the meaning of rushing is fast. Very good. We will write 2 to 3 meanings of this word rushing. Fast, hurry, quick. Okay, these all are the meanings of rushing. So Rushing River is basically a story of a boy whose name is Bilal. So what Bilal wanted to do? The unit starts with a story that describes that Bilal was asking about a permission from his parents. So the permission of that he was asking, or he was seeking, it was about he wanted to go near the river. He wanted to see what the river actually looks like, because he has never seen this rushing river or even in such a rushing situation ever in his whole life. So what he wanted to do is that he wanted to have an exposure कि अगर है दरिया peaceful situation में ऐसा दिखता है, तो वो rushing situation में कैसा दिखता होगा? He just wanted to have a look at it. So what he wanted to have is he wanted to go near the river. वो दरिया के पास जाना चाहता था और देखना चाहता था कि what basically the Rushing River looks like, because he has only seen the river in the dry season. In the dry season, the river looks very calm, composed, very peaceful in its own normal position, normal state. But in the rainy season, because in the rainy season it grew into a raging monster. There is a word that is mentioned in the unit as it is a raging monster. So the story of Rushing River is about a river in a village. We have a house here. That's Bilal's house. Bilal's house. This is the veranda of Bilal's house. Veranda. And we have river here. Banks of river. This is river. And this is the side of the river. And it's constantly being raining. Okay? And here we have in the backyard is a garden on which we have a tall tree. Okay? And this tree is a mango tree in Mr. Singh's garden. So we have a mango tree in Mr. Singh's garden. How many pictures I have drawn? I have drawn the picture of Bilal's house, and then I have mentioned the veranda, then I have drawn the picture of Mr. Singh's garden and a tree that is mentioned in your textbook, that is of mango tree. Then I have drawn a river which feels like a raging monster and it is raining constantly. These are the banks of the river and this is a river. So Bilal was asking permission from his parents to go outside and want to see that because he wanted to see the river. But his parents would not allow him to go out because they were curious. They were, anxious that if Bilal goes outside and if he wanted to see the river, so there are chances that he might get fell into the river because it would be very dangerous for a child like him to go near the river in the rainy season, because in the rainy season, what do you feel like? What happens in a village? If it's a village, then it would be of mud, then it would be of sand, then it would be of clay. So the sides near the river would be very muddy, full of mud, and it would be slippery. So there are chances that this place near the river might be dangerous. So that's why his parents are not allowing him to go near the river because they wanted him to be safe and sound, because Bilal was their child. But what Bilal did? Bilal went outside. Bilal went outside without informing their parents, his parents, because he just wanted to have a look at the river, because he was curious and he wanted to have a look at what river actually looks like. He wanted to share the situation of the river, the condition of the river with his friends at school, because many people get to know about anything. You will definitely discuss that thing with your students and with your classmates in the next day in the school. Won't you? You will discuss, am I right? You all will discuss the same thing. For example, if you watch any kind of a movie, any kind of a series, any animation or any cartoon, people feel curious of sharing it with your friends. Bilal was also curious. He was curious of the fact that he will share all these things with his fellows, with his classmates at school. So what he did? He thought of an idea. He thought of a plan. Bilal had an idea. Bilal को क्या मिला? Bilal ने सोचा एक idea. Okay, Bilal thought of an idea that he will go to Mr. Singh's garden. Bilal will go to Mr. Singh's garden. Bilal had an idea. He thought कि मैं Mr. Singh के garden में चला जाता हूँ और वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा a huge tall mango tree is there, और मैं उस पे जाऊँगा, जाके बैठ जाऊँगा, will sit on any branch of the tree and will have a look at the river. See, this is Bilal's house and the river is in front of that house. What if Bilal will sit on that branch? He might be able to look at the river very easily. He will have a very cinematic view. He will have a very clear look of the river by sitting on the branch of the tree. So he thought of an idea and he went outside. He went to the back side of his house into the neighbor's garden, and the name of the neighbor was Mr. Singh. In Mr. Singh's garden there was a big and a tall mango tree. So he went there and he sat on one of the branches of the tree. वो गया और जाकर दरख्त की एक शाख के ऊपर बैठ गया and he started looking at the river. So what he saw that the river looks like a raging monster. Who will tell me the meaning of raging? You all may be aware of the word monster. Monster के बारे में सबको पता होगा, ठीक है? Who will tell me the meaning Raging means, yes, great. Angry, furious. And anything else? Uncontrollable. So river, उसने बिलाल ने भी कंडीशन बताई कि रिवर कैसा लग रहा था? रिवर लग रहा था एक raging monster जैसा. Now river is being compared with a monster. River is not a human. River is not an animal. River doesn't have a life. It has water in it, and the water was overflowing and splashing outside the banks. That it looks like the river has hands, and it looks like that it will grab anything with him and it will take away anything with it when its water flow. So what Bilal see? बिलाल यहाँ बैठा हुआ रिवर की शॉप पे बैठा हुआ और बिलाल किसको देख रहा है? दरिया. So what Bilal has seen? Bilal has seen shopping carts, houses, and what else? There's another thing that is mentioned in your book. A tree. Floating like paper boats. Now I will give you an example. Paper boat is very lightweight. If you make a paper boat and spill water on the floor, like even the water would be in a little quantity, and if you float the paper boat in that little quantity of water, it will flow because it is very lightweight. It is very lightweighted and it can flow very easily. और पेपर बोट को पानी में तैरने के लिए को बहुत ज़्यादा हवा, बहुत ज़्यादा एयर प्रेशर, बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी या बहुत ज़्यादा वाटर फ्लो तो नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, इसमें कोई पोटेंशियल एनर्जी इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो रही. लेकिन what Bilal said? Bilal said, I have seen shopping carts, broken houses, trees and tires, and old tires also. I forgot to mention the tire. He also have seen the tire here. Old tires floating in the river like paper boat. अब आप देख रहे हैं, you can have an idea of the fact that अगर बिलाल ये कह रहा है कि मैंने बड़े बड़े पुराने टायर्स, ब्रोकन हाउसेस, टूटे हुए घरों के स्ट्रक्चर्स और क्या शॉपिंग कार्ट्स और बड़े बड़े ट्रीज को पानी के अंदर ऐसे फ्लोट होते देखा जैसे वो कोई पेपर की बोट्स हों. Oh my God, that's huge actually. So what he has seen that बिलाल ये कह रहा है कि वो इतनी आसानी से पानी में फ्लोट कर रहे थे जैसे कोई पेपर बोट हो. मैंने भी आपको बताया कि पेपर बोट को फ्लोट करने के लिए एनर्जी नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन एक ट्री का वेट और पेपर बोट का वेट तो बहुत डिफरेंस होगा ना. इट वुड बी ऑफ ग्रेट डिफरेंस. इट वुड बी ऑफ ग्रेट, ट्री वुड बी वेरी ह्यूज एंड लार्ज इन साइज एंड इट वुड बी हैवी वेटेड एंड द पेपर बोट वुड बी वेरी लाइट वेटेड. सो हाउ कम दे बोट बी कंपेयर्ड विद ईच अदर? They cannot be compared. Am I right? So इसमें ये सिनेरियो है कि वाटर प्रेशर इतना ज़्यादा था कि वो जो वाटर था, वाटर हैज़ अ वेरी पावरफुल एनर्जी. वाटर की काइनेटिक और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी उस टाइम पे इतनी ज़्यादा थी कि वाटर को किसी भी चीज़ को अपने साथ बहाने के लिए किसी भी चीज़ के लाइट वेट या हैवी वेट होने से फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता था. ठीक है, इट वॉज कॉन्स्टेंटली मूविंग एनीथिंग दैट्स कमिंग इनटू इट्स वे विद इट. Okay, so now moving on towards another thing, that everything was moving very easily and it's flowing very easily into the water as it is a paper boat. So Bilal was sitting there. He was perching he perched on that branch of the tree, and then he was busy and वो इतना मगन हो गया वो सारा cinematic view देखने में कि that he had lost the track of time. After a lot of time has been passed, and then he heard his name being called. His name being called. After some time, he heard his name. People were chanting Bilal, 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 and then he had an idea. He has seen his parents running. So his parents in the house will run to the river. क्योंकि उनको यही पता था कि Bilal was asking the permission to go outside. तो उनको यही लगा, Bilal did not inform them. तो उनको ये लगा, they had an idea कि Bilal हमें बिना बताए घर से निकल के कहाँ चला गया है? रिवर के पास चला गया. So they were the parents. They were curious. Of the fact that Bilal did not tell us he might get into any kind of a danger. They were the parents. They got in tension. They got tense. They got anxious, and they thought their son is in danger. So they both ran. They both ran from the house, and they ran fastly and quickly as much as they can. They both rushed. See, we have done the meaning of the rushing, and rushing means moving very fast, moving very quickly. So they both rushed by their house, and they are rushing towards what? They are rushing towards river. So बिलाल यहाँ पे बैठा हुआ, ठीक है। बिलाल ने देखा कि उसके पेरेंट्स भागते हुए कहाँ जा रहे हैं, रिवर के पास जा रहे हैं। So बिलाल jumped off the tree. अब बिलाल दरख्त से कूद गया, ओके, वो दरख्त से कूद गया। एंड when he jumped off the tree he grazed his knees and elbows. Graze का मतलब हुआ रगड़ लग जाना, scraping, peeling. He grazed his knees and elbows because he was also curious. बिलाल दरख्त पर चढ़ा बहुत आराम से था, ठीक है, बिकॉज मैंगो ट्री वॉज वेरी इजी टू क्लाइंब, बट लेकिन वो उतरा कैसे, ही स्क्रैम्बल डाउन द ट्री, वो जंप करके दरख्त से उतरा। एंड ही ग्रेज्ड हिज नीज एंड रिप्ड हिज टी शर्ट एंड ही स्टार्टेड रनिंग आफ्टर हिज पेरेंट्स बिकॉज ही वॉज ऑल्सो क्यूरियस। उसको फिर समझ आई कि मेरे पेरेंट्स कहीं इनको ये ना लग रहा हो कि मैं भागता के नहीं जाता रिवर के पास जाके कि मैं रिवर में गिर ना गया हूँ। They might have thought that I would be in danger and I would have fallen into the river. So उन्होंने ये सोचा कि अगर कहीं हमारा बेटा कहीं पानी में गिर के मर ना गया हो. So what they did was they started running towards the river and Bilal was following them. There was a very huge roar of the river. पानी का बहाव इतना तेज था कि उसके आसपास किसी भी चीज़ की आवाज़ सुनाई नहीं दे रही थी. You people might have seen any kind of a waterfall. If you might have seen any kind of river, so you might have known this thing that there are a lot of the voice that water makes in a river or in any kind of a water body. कभी आप किसी waterfall के पास जाएं, कभी river के पास जाएं, किसी ocean के पास जाएं, ocean और अगर वो raging situation में हो, means बहुत ज़्यादा rushing situation में हो, तो आपकी आवाज़ पानी के पास सुनाई नहीं दे सकती. So the same case happened with Bilal. Bilal went by, Bilal moved outside the house, outside the Mr. Singh's garden, and then he started following his parents. The parents were running into the front and Bilal was following them. When they both reached the river, his mother and his father, and then Bilal followed them. Bilal was shouting, "Mom and Dad!" He was yelling at its peak. वो जितना चीख सकता था वो उतना चीखा, लेकिन just because of the voice, because of the loud noise of the river, because he was acting like a raging monster, they couldn't hear his voice. Then he went nearby, Bilal और पास किया, and then standing right behind his mother, he shouted, "Mom!" And then his mother turned around. And they both felt very happy. They both felt very relieved. She threw her arms open. आप ball कहते हैं ना, you throw a ball. You mean by throwing the ball, you have to open your arms like this. You have to open your arms wide. So we call it as throwing. So throw is the second form. Throw is the first form. So throw is the second form. Why the second form is being used here? Second form is being used here because the story is being described in the past. Story past में बताई गई है, तो इसलिए यहाँ पे second form use की गई है because second form is also called as past form. The story is in past. That's why we will be using the past tense. So we will be using the past tense here. The story यहाँ पे है, she threw her arms open and she fell around him. And she threw her arms open and she hugged his child and then she felt relieved. She was sobbing, she was crying. Sobbing कहते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा रोने को, सिसक के रोने को. जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा देर तक रोते हैं, चीख के, तो आपकी आवाज़ बैठ जाती है और सिसकने की आवाज़ें आती हैं, जिसमें एक साउंड आती है आपके गले से. That's basically called as sobbing. Another word used for the immense crying, continuous crying, that is wail. The word is wail. Sobbing, wail. They both mean as crying and weeping. So they both were weeping. Actually, they both hugged his child and they both felt relieved. So that's where the story ended. And the story tells us about, I will conclude it as you all should obey your parents. And if you do not want to obey them, if you are opposing the fact that they are saying, अगर वो आपसे कुछ कह रहे हैं कि आपने ये काम नहीं करना, तो you all should be following this कि आपने वो काम नहीं करना. And if you have another alternative way to do that, जैसे कि बिलाल ने उसके पेरेंट्स ने रिवर के पास जाने से मना किया, वो रिवर के पास नहीं गया, लेकिन उसको एक आइडिया आया कि मैं पीछे जाके भी तो रिवर को देख सकता हूँ. तो बिलाल would have communicated, वो अपने पेरेंट्स को बता देता कि मैं वहाँ रिवर के पास नहीं जा रहा, मैं रिवर के पास नहीं जा रहा, बल्कि मैं पीछे जाऊँगा मिस्टर सिंह के गार्डन में. I will sit there on any branch of the tree and have a look at the river. मेरा भी काम हो जाएगा, आपकी भी बात मानी जाएगी. तो ऐसा हो सकता था ना कि अगर वो अपने पेरेंट्स को बताता तो उसके पेरेंट्स उसकी बात सुन लेते, but he did not communicate it. So that miscommunication created a havoc. Okay, this miscommunication created a havoc, and that caused a lot to them. That caused a lot of them to their patience, to their vulnerability, to their mental state. They both get into trouble, the parents and Bilal too. So that's a lesson for all of you. If your parents refuse you to do something, just kindly don't do that. And if you have any other alternate way to do that, so please communicate this to your parents. Okay, that was the end of the story, and I hope that you people have got the idea what was being taught to you in this story. And I hope that lesson wasn't boring and it was very interesting. I tried my level best to teach you the best way I can. So if you people still are confused in something, just go through the lesson, give it a quick read, underline the difficult words in it. We will be doing it again if you find difficulty in the next lesson on Monday. So till then, take care of yourselves, complete your lesson, do a quick reading, and reading is your homework too. I will write the diary on the board so that you can understand what's the task that is being assigned to you and what you people have to do. Okay, so till then, take care of yourselves and note down the diary. Okay, so students, you all can have this. Look at this top right corner. This is your diary, this is your task that you all have to read. Unit number 1 yourself, और उसके बाद story तो मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ. And we will be doing the rephrasing on Monday, inshallah, when you come back to the physical classroom. And then we will be doing the rephrasing, that you people will be narrating the story the same way I narrated it to you. You people should have the idea of what we have done in the story. That's it for the lesson. I hope you all have enjoyed it. I enjoyed very much in teaching you this lesson, and inshallah we will meet in the physical lesson. Till then, take care of yourselves, complete your work on time, and come back to school on Monday. Allah Hafiz.